Greetings, everyone. It is Mark the Bowlerhat Farmer. How are you doing? Well, I thought I'd just catch up with you very quickly. Been doing lots of interviews this morning, so it's time for me to tell you where we are at this point. Now, almost £800 has been raised via the £1 a month donations. It gives you an idea of how many people think this is a good idea that we build a new food supply chain. We are making huge progress. We had just over 50 people that have volunteered so far to help assist build the new food system. Some of those are already going out to work on community farms. Some of those are getting involved in assisting online. Some of those are getting involved, like Sarah has become my personal PA to help me deal with the amount of emails we're getting. Just to give you an idea, on Saturday, I think I'm right in saying Saturday, we had 18 people apply and that needed responses via my personal account, Bowlerhat Farmer account, the Food Finder Hub, looking for different solutions to things, which is what we're setting up to do, obviously. We also had on Sunday another 20, I think 5 inquiries, and we've had loads this morning again. This says to me that we're on the right track. This says to me that most of these are farmers looking for alternative solutions. These are the public looking for places to buy different quality foods from. But the thing what's come out of this for me is you guys have obviously stepped up to the plate. You've understood what's needed from the point of volunteers. You've said, hey, I've got time, I can do this. You've taken the time to collectively get together and, say over 50 of you have done that. We have had £800 for donations in about 2 weeks, which says to me that you are acceptant of the fact we need to do this. Us, collectively, you, me, the farmers. I've had farmers markets contact me via people's promotion on social media. This is us guys coming together. And one of the things I was going to say is I did an interview with Chris Brooks this morning from LSB Productions. And Chris has got a YouTube channel of about 30,000 followers on, and Chris always very kindly gives me the time of day. And that really is important for the guys in the new social media. And I just want to say this, because I sent out over the weekend an email to 100 people, a WhatsApp message to 100 people saying that we were looking to promote this £1 a month to build a new food system and that people could get involved. And I had loads and loads of people with their own channels, new social media channels, coming back to me on Monday morning saying, Mark, how do we help? Chris Brooks was the very first one. Then Sandy Adams contacted me, Rachel from Colchester, who does the Council Watch, loads and loads, Richard Vobes, different people. That says to me that people are supporting from the point of the farmers are starting to get more farmers, and butchers, bakers, candlestick makers are all going on the website. And register themselves on there to say who they are, where they are. More members of the public are searching that database. More members are volunteering to help build that structure. And more people are also now looking at donating so that we can build something very, fantastic. So guys, whilst this is short and sharp, to the point, I just want to really say a massive thank you, because when I set off in February, when I packed Gloria and I away on a camper van, we went away for 7 months. We didn't really know where we were going with this. And, Gloria's, come along and had a great holiday while she's in her transition in, with immigration. And this is where, for me, this now comes to play. So we've got a lot of people out there that want to help. A lot of people who want to make a difference. We need to get these people together. If you run your own social media channel, please, please, please have us on to talk about what we're doing. No matter how big or small the channel, let's get on there and let's talk to a new audience. For the people that are watching and going, what's this new food system Mark's on about? Let me quickly refresh. So, on touring the country, I came to realise really quickly that our food system is completely and utterly fecked. It's so broken, it's untrue. We need to build an old resilient food system, one that's localised, is dependent on the time of year to have seasonal produce. See, the problem we've got is supermarkets do not care about British farmers. End of. Anyone who supports a supermarket, slap on the wrist for you, because you don't deserve to be fed as far as I'm concerned. They are vile, evil organisations, corporations that will just poison you, your family, and think nothing of it because it's all about profits. So we have to stand together now. Farm shops, community stores, farmers markets, home delivery systems, and food hubs. They're the 5 things which I think we could potentially really build a good business around. I will include on that, because several people have messaged about this, like the milkman who goes around the door, that people could set up doing mobile shops again. I think that's a great idea. A lot of older people contact us that are disabled and can't get out. They just want someone to go to the door, knock on the door and say, what would you like today? So we've got those options out there. It might be in the future that farmers come together collectively and launch their own brand of supermarkets, and that would be great, and it'll be British. Fantastic. One thing I was going to say, I had an interesting conversation the other evening with a guy who builds aquaponic systems. Now, some of you might remember that earlier in the year I went to visit a maggot farm and was very outspoken about what I didn't want to see coming out of a maggot farm, which was protein for humans to eat. But as a result of that, I went down to see the guys at MAD, and they took me in to see their setup. And what came out of that was it changed my thought of how we could produce food in the future. Well, not the food. They were growing compost and manure via the maggots, which they could then put on, their veg beds to be able to grow good quality food. And that is where I think this comes together. Aquaponics, aeroponics, hydroponics, all things what I would normally shied away from. And after a lengthy 2-hour, 20-minute conversation the other night with this guy, it blew my head. And I think if we want to grow more stuff in the UK and produce more stuff, we know that, we're struggling for water to produce food. Just bear that in mind. You might not be aware of this yet, but farmers are struggling to get hold of water because of the government regulations. Therefore, we need to produce more food with the same amount of water. That's just one thing which we can look at through hydroponics and aeroponics and so forth. So, guys, there's so many options. We are making a transitional change from chemical farming to chemical free. Within that, this has got to include the farmers and the public. We cannot do one without the other. Farmers, if you're listening, as a member of the public, I wear that hat for a minute. As a member of the public, I don't want to buy a ton of wheat, barley, sugar beet, oats, maize or rapeseed. I'm not interested. What I want to do is come and buy 20 kilos of potatoes, 2 kilos of carrots, a dozen eggs and a pint of milk. That's what I want to come and buy. If you can't facilitate that, you will not survive in the current market, because the current market that you are playing in, the supermarket supply chain has got you more than stretched already, and they're going to crucify your businesses. So that needs to transfer to you producing a lot more things on the farm in a lot smaller amounts so you can sell it to the public. That's where we've got to go to, guys. And the members of the public, support your local farmers. If you don't, they will not think this transition is worth doing, and they will not be able to participate in the future because they will not be there. So, guys, it's on us. No one's coming to rescue us. Don't forget, I'll drop the link below where you can make a donation. Kind donation, I have to say. We're looking for £1 each month. I'll drop the details of the bank on there. Big love, guys.